Hello and welcome back to the Cricket Nerds podcast. That could just be the intro, to be honest. I'm James. I'm joined by Zach and Benji, and we're going to break down the game between Kolkata Knight Riders and the Punjab Kings. A brief overview.
Okay,
I'll struggle through. Kolkata won the toss, and as you can expect, every single team to do, they sent Punjab in to bat. So if you win the toss, you will field. And Punjab started off really well. Other than the fact that they lost Mike Agarwal, plum LBW in the second over. Umesh Yadav bowled an absolute storm in the power play, and so did Tim Southee. And then Rajapaksa came in, and he was hitting sixes for fun. He looked absolutely amazing. I think he only stayed in for about 9 balls, though, until he went out, having got 31 runs, though. So a brilliant start. And then, we kind of looked to reset. So Liam Livingstone only got 19. He threw his wicket away a bit. Raj Bauer batted very slowly, got outfoxed by the old Narain. Shahrukh Khan went for a 5-ball duck, which isn't what you want from your 9.25 crore player. Harpreet Brar played a bit of a slow innings, but he did a really nice slog sweep for 6 for his 14 off 18. Odean Smith looked horrendous, got 9 off 12 and ended up running out Harpreet Brar's last ball. Shining light. Rahul Chahar went in after saying he's improved his batting, got a duck. So brilliant work, mate. And Kagiso Rabada looked sick. 25 off 16. I was well impressed. I don't usually read through a scorecard, but I feel like I need to vent a bit. And I know that the Punjab squad that, makes up a large part of our fan base will also feel like they just need to vent a bit. Just need to, So we didn't even manage to bat all the innings. And for the 18.2 overs that we batted, we got 137 runs, which isn't enough. We've seen teams that haven't been able to defend 200. And then Kolkata got it with ease, basically. They lost a few early wickets. There was some really good bowling. And then Odean Smith came on. Andre Russell decided to go back to 2018 when he was invincible and hit 70 off 31. So just classic Andre Russell, kind of put Odean Smith in his place, who got hit for 30 off 1 over. So, yeah. Zach, just you speak instead of me.
All right. Well, I can see you're upset, but I think that one of the things with this game is that Kolkata Knight Riders, they are a strong team. They're a strong unit. They've got very good balance. But they were still beaten by Royal Challengers. Yes. Sorry, I'll carry on.
Who also lost to Punjab, so
who lost to Punjab Kings, so we've got a little triangle going on there. There we go. But yeah, they've got Umesh Yadav and Tim Southee bowling in the power play is a very good pairing. Umesh Yadav maybe 2 or 3 seasons ago probably wasn't as skillful as he is now. I don't think. I feel like he's learned a few tricks over the last few years. He's been more involved in the Indian setup as well, which probably does him good. But to get 4 for 23, including a maiden over, is very good and shows a very good bowling. And it was hard for the Punjab King batsman to get away. The only bowler they could really target was Shivam Mavi, who is the only one in that lineup who isn't either experienced or very clever. And Rajapaksa took a particular...
That just seemed to be harsh.
Well, saying clever.
He's inexperienced and stupid.
But I don't mean like that. let me explain. Like think about Varun Chakravarti, he's very clever with his variations and stuff like that. Whereas Shivam Mavi, he's not quite got the experience to deliver those sorts of things. I wouldn't say quite yet. And so going in 90.5 and over, he's been tonked around by Rajapaksa, who's a very good batsman. He's the Sri Lankan Gale. He's not quite hit the heights of Gale as of yet, but who knows? If he keeps striking the way he's doing, to get a strike rate of 344, that's ridiculous. But yeah, he only lasted 9 balls. So I think it's a combination of Punjab Kings being tied down by Kolkata Knight Riders' skillful bowling, and also Kolkata Knight Riders with their hitters like Shreyas Iyer, Sam Billings, Andre Russell. They're going to make a chase of 137 on a pitch that wasn't that bad for batting, especially with the dew in the second innings. They're going to make it look easy, aren't they? So yeah, it was an unfortunate situation for Punjab. What about you, Benj?
Well, I thought we'd left it long enough for James to get over what had happened, but clearly we haven't.
It's all come back to me.
The man's hurting. Yeah, I think once again with KKR, we found it was a high-class power play, with the exception of Shivam Mavi's over. Umesh Yadav and Tim Southee look fantastically on form. I mean, Yadav, already the purple cap holder, probably contender for this season, which was one of your calls, James. So glad that you did that, because that's worked out against both you and me so far. I thought Sam Billings looked really good too. He played quite a tidy innings after losing a couple of wickets. Venkatesh Iyer still not quite got into his stride. But really, I think it was just, again, it was that power play and that very clever bowling attack of Kolkata that did it for Punjab on this occasion. And as you say, some soft dismissal. Shahrukh Khan and Liam Livingstone both didn't really need to get out the way that they did, which I think definitely hurt Punjab a bit. And then, yeah, Odean Smith just really wasn't able to get himself off the way that he did against RCB. So, yeah, there were a few bits there. I mean, Punjab still aren't up to full power. They've still got Bairstow to come in. The same way that KKR still have Pat Cummins to come in, but I think actually they might have quite a tough decision now with who to play, Pat Cummins or Tim Southee. I mean, logic would say Pat Cummins would come into that spot, but Southee's proved that he's a good power play bowler and has been doing very well. But yeah, I was glad that Raj Bauer scored some runs.
I mean, kinda
better than 0.
It is 11 off 13 is marginally better than 0.
Yeah, I think that what that has led to though is I think Punjab have a bit of thinking to do once they get up to full power. I mean, James, how do you think that squad's going to balance out once like Bairstow's come over? Who do you think is going to make way for him?
So yes, it's an interesting one. At the start of the tournament, I would have said Rajapaksa is going to play the first couple of games and then Bairstow will just slot in for him because wicket-keeper batsman that hits it hard. That's very interchangeable. However, I feel like we can't dismiss a man that has now he's played the first 2 games of his IPL career. He's got a strike rate of 200 on average or something. It's ridiculous. So I feel like we can't dismiss Rajapaksa. We can't afford to. He's too good at the moment. But Bairstow is also class. Bairstow can win us matches. So I think the player that's made themselves the most dispensable this game is Odean Smith. I think he's shown that he isn't a brilliant batsman. So he can hit an amazing cameo at the end of an innings. In those death overs with some fast bowling, he can swing it through the line. And like most West Indians can, he can clear the boundary and hit 100-metre 6. But he's not quality. And we don't really have any players that can really attack spin apart from Liam Livingstone. Johnny Bairstow is brilliant against spin. He's brilliant against pace. He's just brilliant. So I could see him coming in for Odean Smith, which then kind of gives us a balance problem, because where's our extra bowler coming
Well,
from?
I've got. Oh, sorry. I thought you finished.
Oh, no,
I was just going to say.
You go, mate. You go.
Oh, I was just going to say I have an idea of how you could fix your balance for the Punjab Kings, which would be to don't drop. What's he called? Odean Smith for Bairstow. Yes, get rid of Odean Smith, but I would play Bairstow instead of, say, Raj Bauer, because then you can swap Odean Smith out for a bowler. And I think someone like, I don't know, Sandeep Sharma, who did okay in the first game against Royal Challengers. He's a good power play bowler. He's got lots of wickets. He's very experienced. I think he would do a much better job and go for a lot less runs and take more wickets than Odean Smith is doing. And with Bairstow in the team, you've got that extra batsman. So you've got less of a worry about Odean Smith scoring runs. And then also utilise Liam Livingstone more as a bowler. So they're saving him to the end. Give him a few overs in the power play. Give him time to get into his spell, because we've seen it before. Liam Livingstone, when he's bowling for England and Lancashire, does a really good job. He can bowl leg spin and off spin, and he provides that extra variety. And who knows, he could do really well. But at the moment, they're kind of using him as a part-timer. They're not giving him that frontline role as a bowler. And I think he could be utilised very effectively. And that might solve your extra bowler balance as well.
Yeah, I agree. I would also say, though, that Raj Bauer is an all-rounder and he hasn't bowled a single ball. So I don't know what they're seeing in the nets. Don't know what's happening in training where they're dismissing him as a bowler. But Odean Smith hasn't bowled well at all so far, and Raj Bauer hasn't bowled at all. So that kind of doesn't add up to me, because we could balance the side here. We could get Bairstow in, as well as Rajapaksa, as well as Livingston, as well as Rabada. 4 absolutely brilliant overseas. There are some issues there with players that aren't quite, doing what they need to do. If we're talking about players that, kind of either need a kick up the backside, need to sort themselves out, or need to be dropped. We've got Raj Bauer. Yes, we've got Odean Smith. I also want to talk about Harpreet Brar a little bit. So last year, he was absolutely brilliant, really, really economical. This year, he doesn't appear to be getting any turn at all, which he's a left-arm orthodox bowler. If you're not getting any turn, you're left arm very, very slow, asking to be hit. So, I really need Harpreet Brar to come in and, bowl his economical spells again, because we're playing him as a frontline bowler that can bat a little bit kind of as an anchor at the end of the innings. If there's a horrible collapse, that's where he is.
I think what this has shown, though, about this year's IPL is that anyone can beat anyone. On anyone's day, any team can make another team look pathetic, and another team can make another team look great. Probably with the exception of Sunrisers. I think they're trash.
Just throw that out there after one
I think
game.
every other team... I think every other team on their day can potentially, make another team look good. Like, on paper, Chennai should be a really good team. They should be one of the front runners in the tournament, and they've lost to KKR and they've lost to Punjab. Lost to Lucknow, sorry.
They haven't lost to Punjab yet.
I'm just manifesting. It's fine. But then, like, Kolkata can come out and play, that fine bowling attack display against Chennai and that great bowling against Punjab, and bat really well to chase it down very easily, or have a horrible collapse as they did against RCB. I just think that this edition, anyone can look like they can be anyone else. And I'm not quite sure why. I think it's potentially two factors. I think one, maybe because it's got 10 teams, so the pool of talent has been spread, and also because of the mega auction, like, it was more of a level playing field. I think that's probably got a lot to it. But I think also this fact that they're only playing at 4 stadiums, there's no real home and away advantage. And the Jew factor is like playing a massive part in it so far. So yeah, I'm just really excited for the rest of this IPL. Like, it just looks like everyone can potentially get a playoff spot. Like, if a team goes on like a run of 2 or 3 wins, then that puts them in really good stead. I just think it's going to be really interesting to see how the rest of this IPL pans out. Tell me some heroes and villains.
Obvious hero is Andre Russell. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Like, you know, I don't know if I explained it when I was describing the match, but to say that we only got 137 runs at one point, after, you know, Rahul Chahar was bowling an absolutely brilliant spell, also a hero. You know, it kind of looked like Punjab was starting to pull it back. You know, we were potentially in danger of giving KKR some trouble, and then Andre Russell kind of realised, hold on, this Harpreet Brar lad isn't getting any turn, so where the ball lands, I can just hit through it, and he did. And then he realised that, oh wait, this Odean Smith chap cannot cope under pressure at all. I'm going to hit through the line, it'll go for miles. So Andre Russell hitting 8 sixes and 2 fours. He's a hero. Rahul Chahar, another shining light of Punjab. He's a real glimmer of hope for us. Sam Billings played a sensible knock because they were only chasing 137. All he had to do was stay in. Very good. Yeah, I'm not sure of any other heroes, to be honest. Oh, Rajapaksa, just because I'd never heard of him before this IPL, and now he's one of my favourite players.
What about Kagisa Rabada? He played a great innings and he bowled very well. And I think if you've got Rabada, you've got Arshdeep Singh. If he starts doing well, and he came across the might of Andre Russell, the huge man, and you've got Rahul Chahar. They're 3 very good bowlers. So Punjab are putting together a pretty good squad. It's whether some of these players who have a lot of potential and are very skilled actually perform on the big stage, and that's what we need to see, because Definitely. We've got a lot of Punjab fans, and
we have
James. He loves Punjab. He knows more about Punjab than people who live in Punjab, and he's never been. So we want Punjab to do well. We want them to get to the playoffs, but lose to Royal Challengers in the final. That is what we want. Obviously, it's not what the Punjab fans want. That's what I want. But there we go.
Yeah, and you know, in my closing comments, I do want to say, Benji's absolutely right. Any team could beat any team, and there are very strong teams here. I think Punjab is one of the strongest teams. I think we got our game management wrong. I think we got scared by losing the toss, because as we saw yesterday, you can score 210 in your first innings and it's not enough. We're living in that world now. So, you know, I think we went out there thinking, oh my goodness, we're into bat first. We need to get 300 to be able to defend it. When really, you know, we didn't need to go that hard at the start, and we panicked and we collapsed. And we're playing this aggressive brand of cricket, but you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So just take courage. Every team out there, if you've had a bad start, it's all right, because everybody's class, and all you need to do is win the coin toss and you win the game.
Yeah.
There we go. Right, we're going to call it there. Fantasy. Hope you remember to do your fantasy team list last night, unlike these 2 Muppets that I'm joined with.
Oh, I did it.
Oh, James did, I think. Unlike Zach, who told you all to do it.
I didn't need to.
And then forgot himself.
Funny.
If you've got Andre Russell in your team, well done. You've won this game week. Double header tomorrow. Mumbai, Rajasthan and Gujarat versus Delhi. So tune in tomorrow for our in-depth and intelligent analysis on that.
That's what we're known for. Yeah. Unlike that Shivam Mavi, we're intelligent.
And remember to
I
subscribe.
love Shiva.
Remember to subscribe. Pack it in, you two. Remember to like, follow us on our social medias. It's at Cricket Nerds Pod, and we will see you all tomorrow.